light of the recent situation with the abandoned baby found on the street in Vineyard Town, we asked our health professionals to shed some light on the procedures and practices for dealing with missing, found babies. Are here to do that is the Regional Technical Director of SARA, Dr. Sandra Chambers-Gauze. Good morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. Thank you.
What's the procedure? So, God forbid it happens to me, and I go to a hospital, any hospital, the nearest one, which probably that's what I would do. So what's the procedure? I come in and I said, I found this baby. She's alive or he's alive. What happens then?
Well, the first thing we need to do is look at the baby to see what is the state the baby is in. Is the baby alive? Is the baby dead? Is the baby in distress? So whatever is the situation, the first thing one needs to do is to stabilize the baby if the baby needs to be stabilized. Baby needs to be looked at by a doctor. And then the next thing we do, or it could be done simultaneously, depending on the level of staffing that you have, is call the police. Call the police and you call the Child Protection and Family Services. And they're the ones that take it from there.
And that should happen at any hospital that I take the baby to, whether it's a children's hospital or otherwise?
Well, basically any hospital.
Okay.
We do have social workers in most of our hospitals. And so the social workers would be the one to champion that cause, to find out, the various services, connect the babies, etc. But the first thing that we do is stabilize, ensure that the baby is safe.
Okay.
Are there many cases of abandoned babies in hospitals, Doc?
There are two types of abandoned children. You have the one like this one that was brought in, and you have the ones that are taken to hospital for genuine illnesses and left there. And so we do not have a lot in recent times of babies being brought in like this. They're like, few and far between.
Okay.
More frequently are the ones that are left in hospital, and those are quite few too. Okay. And Bustamante tells me that they presently have 3 such children. Last year they had about 6. And so they're not very many, but when it does happen, we have to ensure that proper procedures are followed. And the Child Protection and Family Services, they are the main persons that would look at placement of babies, children in need of care and protection. And so they are the ones, along with the police, that would handle that matter.
Mr. Briscoe, the gentleman who found the baby, and I'm reading here, it reported that the baby was initially taken to the Victoria Jubilee Hospital but was not accepted. But having said that, he said the healthcare workers cleaned the baby, detached her umbilical cord before handing her over to them. Why would she not have been accepted? I don't know if accepted is the right word. I'm not even certain what accepted means in this case. But they did look at the baby, as you said. They did clean up the baby, as you suggested. So why would they not call the police? And who would make that decision that the baby can't stay at the hospital?
I'm not sure who did that.
Right.
But
who was supposed to make
my information, the nurse or the doctor.
Okay. Any nurse? Or is it supposed to be somebody who is in charge at the hospital?
First of all, the first person that comes in contact with the patient, if they're unaware of the procedure, then they should speak with their supervisor and be so advised.
Right.
In this case, I understand that the nurse that received the baby, after doing what was necessary there, had said this child was probably for Bustamante, left the child, I understand, in the presence of the security, went to get the matron. On returning with the matron, the person had left. That's a report that I have.
So, miscommunication along the way. When I saw the whole scenario, Doc, you may or may not be able to speak to this. One of the things I'm concerned about is, because I know the police have to be brought into play, and so I wondered to myself, how does one treat parents who, for want of a better word, abandon their children? And is it a fear of the police why we see them leaving children in places that are not, hanging them on a fence, leaving them in the market? Is it the fear of the legal implications why we see things like these happening?
It could be, but you know that mothers who deliver, some of them do go through what we call postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and so sometimes they are not rational. And depending on the situation that they're in, fear, uncertainty. They're just not sure what to do, and so they act out.
Yeah.
What happens if the mom turns up now, or the mom and the dad, and say exactly what you just said? Boy, I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of frightened and nervous, and I leave the baby. What happens now?
Well, it's a police case.
It's a police
under investigation, and so therefore we would have to refer that individual to the police and to the Child Protection Services, and they're the ones that make the call as to what goes on next.
From there.
How do you prove that it's the mom?
DNA. We're modern now.
That's right. So me and Delia couldn't just walk in and say, it's our child.
Yeah.
Give
So
up.
there's a process of investigation, and one of it is DNA.
Okay.
One of it is DNA. All right. I mean, I'm just glad that everything worked out the way that it did. The child is safe.
And baby is well.
And baby is well. Mother, wherever you are, if you need support and help, reach out and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach out and get it.
One more thing, Doc. One more thing, Doc. Sorry about that. The gentleman went back to see the baby, and they told him that he couldn't see the baby. He said he took some diapers, and they said they're not taking the diapers. Why not?
Protocol. Parents are the ones who are allowed the visitation rights in the hospital, or if the patient so document the name of somebody they're authorizing to see the child. Outside of that, we do not allow persons
But
to
Dr.
see
Chambers
children.
does. I find a child. I brought in the
Yes.
child. I was magnanimous in bringing in the child. I'm now bringing something to
Yeah, well,
help
we
the
don't
child.
know. We don't know who you are. All right. You say you find the child. All right. We take you at your word, but we do not know. It is under investigation, and therefore, at that stage, we cannot really interfere with what happens. We cannot allow you to see the child. We will have to be so guided by Children's Services and by the
Even
police.
under supervision, you wouldn't allow me to see the child? In
Yes.
other words, if you came in the room with me and I said,
Well, maybe you'd have to look at it in a case-by-case situation, however, but protocol and, a lot of people follow the letter of the law.
okay.
And to be on the safe side, right, you are instructed to do something.
Yeah.
And so you want to keep your job. So you want to follow the correct protocol. If it is that you can't handle it, then you bump it up to...
To someone who
Why
is
would you
able
not take
to-
the diapers?
And we do not accept, as I said, this case is under investigation. We don't know anything about this baby outside of the fact that the baby was brought in. We will accept gifts, but if you bring a gift to the hospital and say, okay, I'm donating this to Bustamante Hospital, it is something that can be utilized for any child.
Child.
All right? We are not going to accept anything specific.
For a specific child.
Right, especially if you're not the parent. And the situation surrounding it is very, very much unclear. We want to err on the side of caution and follow protocol as is dictated.
Yeah, it says contact has to be limited
Has to be
until the
limited.
case has been properly investigated.
Exactly.
So as it stands, head of the Kingston East Division, Superintendent Police Tommy Lee Chambers, says there's still no leads. They're still trying to investigate and find out. But in a case such as this, does the baby then move into the CPFSA care and into the children's home?
That is correct.
Okay.
So once it has been reported, they would have come in, done their investigations. Then they seek out somewhere, maybe a place of safety, maybe Glen Hope or some place of safety, and that will house the baby temporarily until the child goes before the court, and then the court will decide is this a ward of the state, etc.
Yep.
The way forward is decided by Children's Services and the court.
Yeah.
The child sometimes stays at the hospital for a little while because it may take a while to find a suitable place to
place.
As far as you know, Dr. Chambers goes, the child is okay?
Child is fine. Up to yesterday, I was told baby is stable, doing well.
Oh, beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you
She's
so
going to
much.
be a star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So mom and dad,
she's here for a reason.
yeah, do what you think you're supposed to do. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming, Doc. Well
most
explained.
welcome.
Well explained.
I hope I was able to shed some light.
Oh, man.
You
well,
did.
well
You
explained.
did. You did.
What's up now?
All right, so as Never says, Regional Technical Director of SARA, Dr. Sandra Chambers-Gause. Coming up, we talk about celebrating our educators. We'll soon come.
I'm moving on.